Hello again guys. In this tutorial we are going to see how to build multiple linear regression in Gretl. And we are going to use the backward elimination method to remove the variables which are insignificant. So let's start first importing the dataset into Gretl. Go to File, click on File, Open Data, User File, and let's come to this arrow and select All Files. And just remember where did you save your file to open it. So this is the file that I need to open, company spends and profit. Double click on this file and it will be open in Gretl. So the imported data has been interpreted as updated cross-sectional. Do you want to give data time series? Click no. We don't need to give any time series. And close this window. And let's have a look at our variables. As I mentioned before, that Gretl is very convenient software because it already shows you what are the variables that you have here. And the only thing you need to do is just to create the dummy variables. The dummy variables I already identified in Gretl, but you need just to add them one by one. So go to Add, select Add, and select here dummies for discrete variable. Click on this, and here give you several options. Encode all values, skip the lowest value, skip the highest value. And you remember from the dummy variable tutorial that always we need to select n-1 because not all the dummy variables should be included in the model. So here just giving us the option either to skip one of them and or encode all of them, and we can make our decision later. So I will select all of them, so encode all values, click OK, and once you completed this step you will see this plus sign by city variable. So click on this plus sign and you will see all the variables which are already created for you by Gretl. So we have each one of them. But it is a good idea to give a meaningful name for these variables to be easier to recognize. So instead of dcity1, dcity2, dcity3 or dcity4, we can give the real names, which are Paris, London, Rome and Frankfurt. And this is very easy. What you need to do here, just come to the first variable, right click and select Edit Attributes. Once you did that, you can start changing the name. So you need just to copy Paris, Ctrl C and Ctrl V. And you need to confirm your selection. Just need to come here and click on this check and click on this arrow to move to the next variable. And the same thing, double click on London, Ctrl C, Ctrl V here and select this check to confirm your selection. Go to the next one, double click on Rome, Ctrl C, Ctrl V and select this check and go to the next one, which is Frankfurt, Ctrl C, Ctrl V and confirm your selection, and this is the last one, so click on OK. So now you get a new names for the dummy variables. So what is left here is only to create our model. And to do that, go to Model, click Model, and still we need to select Ordinary Least Squares. So click on it, and now we got the same window that we got before when we created the simple linear regression. So the first thing here, we need to select our dependent variable, which is the profit. That's what we need to find out the impact of other variables on this variable. So after you select this, click on this arrow and select Set as Default to keep this as a default dependent variable. And let's now start adding the independent variables one by one. Constant is already added. City, we are going to remove city now. We are not going to use the city because we got dummy variables instead of city. So IT is the first one. Select IT, then select this green arrow to add it. Staff training, add it. Advertising, add it. Then now we got for dummy variables, and as I mentioned, we should select n-1. So we have 4 and -1 is 3. So I will select the first 3. You are free to select any 3, but if you want to get the same results as mine, you can select the ones that I'm going to select, which are Paris, London, and Rome. And click on OK. And here we go. We got our regression model created. Let's have a look at the measures here. First thing, we got some variables significant and some variables are insignificant. So what are the significant variables here? IT is significant here. We got 3 stars and we got a p-value 3.90 e minus 0.7, which is a very small number because this e in minus, that's mean we got this number in the decimals. It will be something like 0.00007 zeros, and after that 3, 9, and that's it. So this is very small compared to the 5%, which is the benchmark to consider a variable either significant or insignificant. And if we look at staff training here is insignificant because it's 20%. Advertising is significant, as we see here, the value. And all the 3 dummy variables here are insignificant. Let's have a look at our R and adjusted R squared. R squared is 50%, which is something good. We cannot say it's perfect, but it's good because this regression model explains 50% of the variation of the dependent variable, which is the profit. And the adjusted R square is 46%. So now here Gretl telling us that excluding constant here was highest for variable 8 ROM. So this is another reason for saying that Gretl is convenient, because it's already telling you what is the variable with the highest p-value to exclude. And I need to mention here that if you want to create this multiple linear regression in Excel, you need to create all these dummy variables by yourself. So for example, we need to add 4 extra columns, and in each column you should add either 1 or 0 to represent these cities, which is very tedious and takes long time to do that, and you might make some mistake during that process. So if you want to get something more reliable and fast and quickly, Gretl gives you this option. So this is the first iteration of creating the first model with the OR variables, and based on the backward elimination method, we are going to exclude the insignificant variables one by one, and we are going to see that in the next tutorial.